Good evening, viewers. This is Oreb Show from Gum Live TV. I am Bimbola Ojo, your host, and with me is Reverend Dr Seun Orebiyi. Sir, you are most welcome, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, on the last episode, we looked at 10 common problems, of teenagers and their solutions. And then Dr. Seun was able to highlight the changes in teenagers. He was equally able to, give us a solution, to this highlight. In the highlight, he mentioned about the physical change, the emotional changes, and the behavioral changes. He equally mentioned your education and health as well. He advised parents then that parents should, try and help their children determine the kind of meal they eat. He was telling every parent then that they should ensure that their children have a balanced meal so that they won't fall sick and so that they will have a healthy life. And that was where he hung up last week, which is the health issues. Okay, and today we are going to be, starting from where he hung up last week. Okay, sir, once again, you are most welcome, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much. We really appreciate God for this privilege to be live once again, and we give God all the grace and all the glory and all the honor for the grace and the privilege. And then it's a wonderful thing for us to be looking at the stuff that we are looking at, and then we hope and pray that all parents out there that have been able to have the opportunity of looking at this at one time or the other, they are able to take advantage of this knowledge, to be able to raise wonderful children.
Amen.
Especially at a time like this.
Amen.
And then we pray that God in His power and might will give them the grace and the wisdom to apply all these principles, so that they can be able to have wonderful and glorious children that will be light to their world and salt to their health,
Amen.
to their world.
Amen.
So we appreciate God for all the viewers, and we thank all the parents, and we thank you for watching once again. Thank you for joining us once again tonight. And even if you are watching this after the live broadcast, we appreciate God for your life and the privilege for you to be able to watch this. And then please share this with as many parents as possible so that we can collectively, do glorious work and wonderful work in parenting the kids that God has given to us. So we've looked at like almost 5 of those things.
Yes, sir.
And then we stopped last week by looking at health.
Yes, sir.
Many times teenagers, they want to eat what they want to eat.
Yeah.
It takes the wisdom and discipline on the part of the parent to make them eat what will be good for them.
True, sir.
Because balanced diet is what will be good for them.
Yes,
but
sir.
many of them want to junk, just anything,
yeah.
and then before you know what's happening, their immune system is down, and then it might affect the health. So especially the female parents to be able to fall victim of such. I'm going to be looking at substance use and abuse. Substance use and abuse. Many a times it's very important to keep substance away from youth or teenagers because they are bound to abuse it. Whatever they have access to, they are bound to use it and overuse it. So it's very important to ensure that one is able to regulate whatever one need them to take. One is able to regulate it by taking it away from them. So they just need to have the proper proportion of that thing around them per time, so that they can take and use that for whatever purpose that is meant for. And so even as simple as painkiller can be, many of them might be going through one pain or the other, and before you know what is happening, instead of them to take the right proportion of pain relief tablets, you will see them just use, instead of 2, they may take 4, they may take 6. It's based on what they are feeling, and they just want to junk that stuff as if it will just work automatically. So, and many times, many of them have found themselves rushed to the hospital for overdose. And so substance use and abuse. So teenagers are vulnerable and can be easily swayed to the wrong side at every point in time. They easily, can just be swept up to the wrong side, because many times they relate by the thing they feel. Maybe they are feeling pain, they just allow that pain to let me, if this is the pain relief, they want to jump all.
Overwhelm them.
So, and it's not appropriate for them. So substance abuse is one of the biggest problems that parents of adolescents or teenagers around the world have to deal with. Peer pressure is one of the significant factors that drives adolescents or teenagers to take up smoking and drinking, even drugs.
Wow.
Peer pressure. Many of them may not even want to smoke, but because the friends that they have around them are smoking, they want to okay, how does it feel like? Many of them may not want to drink alcohol at all, but because the friends they hang around with, they are into drinking one thing or the other, so they don't want to feel not belong. So they want to have a taste too, and by the time they start it, they can overdo it. even beyond those that even teach them. And many of them don't know where to put, full stop. They just want to like keep going and keep going until it becomes, an addiction on their part. So, and the same thing with drugs. Many of them can just get used to using drugs that one may not be able to even know why or what is it that they are using the drugs for. So the tendency to take risk encourages most teens to try smoking and drinking even before they are of legal age. Wow. Normally in the world, all over the world, 18 plus is what they put on all the drugs and then even alcohol and even drinks or whatever kind. But many of them want to start practicalizing that from the age of as early as they have access to it. And then those that are more vulnerable are the ones that either of the parents have get those things around the house. So they want to, like, if they are not there, they want to have a taste of what is this thing that daddy has always been drinking or mommy has always been drinking. And that is always encourage parents. And like, is even if you can keep away from alcohol, just because of the kids, it's worth the sacrifice.
I hear you.
It's because no single benefit that alcohol will do to the body. No single benefit. So if a parent can keep away from it just to save his children from falling into the same stuff, it will be a high level of sacrifice. And such parents will in their own heart of hearts, they will know that they take pleasure away from themselves just to be able to have their kids, and be a role model to them in a positive way. So, and what may start as a thrill can become a habit if it remains unchecked. They may start as, it's one of those things. It's a thrill to them, but it may end up becoming an habit. It may end up becoming an addiction, and which many parents may not be able to stop after those teenagers have started. Now, if there is somebody who smokes or drinks at home, they can become your teenager's role model. And that's why it's not appropriate to always keep, even if anybody has to, like, is used to smoking and he has to scout around one may have to ask them to, like, please, can you just do your stuff outside, far away from the kids, so that they will not be seeing that right from early stage. There was a case one time I had of an in-law that went to stay with a particular couple. I think is the wife's younger family, kind of. So the guy is in their house, and they will smoke inside the house. They will do all kinds of stuff inside the house, and they have grown up 4-year-old, 5-year-old, 7-year-old kids around the house. So the husband will like, come, this thing you are doing, you can't do it inside the house. Can you please excuse outside? I'm not asking to stop because I don't have the right to tell you to stop. You are an adult on your own. But please excuse it away from these kids. Don't do it before them. It causes a lot of quarrel because the wife will not get to receive reason with him. Even the wife's younger person will not even want to see reason with that. They believe that it's just been like, it's my house. So, and the guy was just making nuisance of the whole stuff. And then he didn't get to see what the young man is trying to say. Do whatever your stuff, but take it away from my kids. Don't negatively influence them.
I hear you.
But many parents will not see anything big deal in that. They will leave the guy to corrupt their kids, and it's not right. Because you are not smoking in your own family, your wife is not smoking. Now somebody came to scout with you, and that's not the one that is smoking. And the kids have to see that every now and then. No, it's bad for them. It's not good for them. He or she can excuse himself and go out and go and do all those things. And when he's done, he can return back to the house so that he or she will not be a negative influence to those kids. Because they can, once they start, they will do far beyond what the person will do.
You're correct.
So they tend to abuse things even more than adults that can control it. So poor self-esteem and the need to be cool can push adolescents to smoke or drink. Low self-esteem, and they want to feel belong. They want to feel cool among their equals, among their peer group. They can find themselves drinking and smoking just to cover face. And then what we need to do as parents is to ensure that we pass the right thing into them to make them understand somebody does not determine your life and destiny. So you have to be able to determine your own life and destiny and make your own decision so that you can be able to stand to defend that anywhere you go in the world. So easy access to substance like cigarettes, alcohol, drinks, and some other substance may increase the temptation to illicit substance. So that simply means if they don't have easy access to it, the tendency of being tempted to go for it will be so reduced. So, and if a parent will guide them away from such, it becomes so easy for them to live and grow without even having any taste for such, because they are not used to seeing that while they were growing up. Now let's look at the solution. Keep an eye on your child's behavior. Look for erratic behavior and change in his or her appetite, sleeping pattern, or mood. Parents need to be conscious of this, especially when they are growing and they are becoming teenagers and they are not trying to be a big boy or big girl. One must keep an eye on their character, eye on their behavior, notice any changes, notice any change in their appetite, notice any change in their sleeping pattern, notice any change in their moods. It will really help you to be able to know when they are already given to drugs or when they are yet to. So do not spy on them or accuse them of any wrongdoing. When you spy on them, they may take it overboard. And don't accuse them unnecessarily. Just call them to attention about whatever you suspect they are doing and let them know why they should not do it. So encourage them to talk and be honest. Tell them what your concerns are and discuss the problem with them. So don't just accuse them. Sit them down, talk to them, relate with them as parents. Let them know you have their best of interest at heart. Not that you are just making them do what you want them to do, but for their own good. It becomes so easy for them to easily adapt to that. So if your child is not willing to talk to you, the doctor can also, the doctors can ask confidential questions to know if they are abusing any substance or any drugs. So avoid going as far as drug tests, as that may come across as confrontational and threaten the child. So if necessary, get your adolescent the appropriate treatment. So it's very important to be able to bring in a professional or take them to a doctor when you notice something is going on wrong somewhere and they are not talking. Get them to a professional that will help them to talk, that will help them to relate. It becomes so easy for them to say something to the professional, and that way he or she will take up from there and help to rehabilitate them from whatever they are going themselves into. And don't wait till it has become a norm before you undo it for them. Because if they get addicted to whatever substance they are abusing in any form, in any way, it will take a while before you can get them out of it. So as early as you can, watch them. Look out for them. Look out for their mood. Look out for their behavior. Look out for their character. When your kids, a cool guy growing up, now begin to behave anyhow, erratically inside the house, even with the siblings, begin to look at what could be the influence behind those actions, and then from there you begin to notice one thing or the other. Then there are some of them that their lip begin to turn differently, because of smoking or whatever. So a parent need to be able to keep an eye on their kids. You need to be able to watch them closely, know the pattern, the spots, even the dots that they have on their face and all around them. It becomes so easy for you to see any changes, and you can oh, something is wrong with you. What happened? These people were not there yesterday, or this one was not there yesterday. So if it's a normal people, you will know. If it's not a normal one, you will know.
No.
So please, parents, keep an eye on them. Watch out for them. Look out for them. The way the world is now, we have to keep an eye on our own. If you and I can keep our own territory, another family can keep their own territory, we're going to be breeding new breed of glorious children into the society, not the type that we have today. And we can't make a general change. The only way we can make that change is to begin from our own home and with our own kids, and then be able to raise them to be light to their own world.
Thank you so very much, sir. Viewers, I hope you are still with us. Don't forget the number to reach us on is +234 805428 1604. WhatsApp only. Okay, sir. Sir, before we go further, the last point you raised, that is keeping eye on the children. What happens to some parents that they are the working class? The dad is not there, the mom is not there. What do you advise in that wise?
Well, the thing there is there's no how a parent or both can be working class to the point at which they won't be able to have time even during the weekend for the kids. If they go early in the morning, come back late at night, they should be able to have time for them during the weekend. To be able to use that time to spend time with them, to know them, to get to know them. The problem we have today is that many parents rely on nanny and housekeeper to take care of their kids, and that is very, very wrong. Because a child that does not grow with you is bound to have different character from those that hang around him or her while growing up.
Yes, sir.
Because a child lives or grows by observation. So if you now subject such a child to several influence, he or she will pick from here, pick from there, pick from here, pick from there. So by the time the child will be having the formation, it may be totally different from that of the father or the mother. Because the child has been able to get across to have contact with several people, and the child has picked up several character and behavior, especially if those characters are not good. And by the time the child will sum that up, you know, you're going to see it visible from 7, 8, 9, when they begin to like,
Wow.
So, you know, like, what is wrong with you? Where did you get all that from? Influence in the course of growing. So, and when you get to teenage age, you become so difficult for you to remold them. Because you have not been able to have access to them, to mold them the way you want them to be, and it becomes so difficult. It's just like the adage that says that when you try to bend the fish when it's already dry, it will break. So that is why many times at such time, any parent that knows that they both are busy class, they must be able to ensure that their weekend they spend time with the kids. They spend enough time with them to observe them, to note them, go to their room, go to their books, get their bags, see everything you must see as far as they are concerned. Check their wardrobe, check, you know, just tidy up their room together with them, to be able to ensure that you are able to remove one thing from where it's supposed to be, so that by the time you do all that, you see anything hidden anywhere that they are not supposed to have.
I hear you, sir.
So, and that way you are just getting to bond with them. And then by the time you do that several weekends, almost every weekend, it becomes so easy for you to know them inside out.
I hear you, sir.
So, and it's a very good thing because you're bonding with them, will create a relationship with you and them, and it will keep that tight as they grow, but to the point that they can easily discuss anything with you. Even while we are doing that, you are just engaging them in some conversation that will not look like an interview. They will easily say something, because they are just like, we are not looking at them. You are busy with one thing or that, and you are still asking questions. They will be it will be easy for them to flow and say what is on their mind.
I hear you, sir.
So those are the major stuff. So any parent that is busy, please, we use the weekend to spend time with them. And thank God for the COVID. It has kept us all together for the past few weeks. By the time we are returning back, we shall be able to know ourselves more than ever before. So
thank you so very much, sir. Parents, I hope you are still with us. Don't forget the number to reach us on is +234 8054281604. You're hearing what doctor is telling us, that this COVID has been able to allow family to bond. So parents, try to build that gap. Try to look through what your kids are doing. Okay, sir, can we have the next
the next which is number 6, number 7 now, is psychological problem. Psychological problem. Research has revealed that around 50% of mental health disorder that adults have begin at the age of 14. In fact, 1/3 of the adolescent deaths are suicide triggered by depression. So if your child is overly moody and he or she is not eating or sleeping at all, it is imperative that you get professional help for them. So that simply means psychologically we must ensure that we also observe them, because there are some disorder in them that, you know, due to health, you know, issues that we need to notice. Probably a child that gets angry so easily, and once it's angry, it scatters so many things. Like for instance, there was a guy, a 13-year-old boy one time, you know, while growing up from the age of 6, 7, the mother noticed that anytime she scolded him, he would go back to his room and scatter all the toy from the box and scatter everywhere. So the mother didn't take that serious. So, and anytime there is any issue between him and the other sibling, he will scatter everything. So the mother was thinking this is a normal or ordinary stuff. Until around 13, when the boy began to behave erratically. She has to take him to the psychiatric hospital, to the doctor, and they have to subject him to some tests before they realize he has some mental disorder.
Amazing.
Now, the doctor was just telling the mother that it's good this type of disorder that he has. That if he had had a different one, he would have been more violent along with those erratic behavior. And that could have been disastrous. But the question there is, if the mother has noticed that all this action of scattering boxes, scattering the toys all over the place is not normal, she would have taken him to the doctor early enough.
Yeah, yes, sir.
But she felt that, oh, it's just been a boy, it's just been a child. But that is too much for a child. He will scatter everywhere, all the painting in his room, he will drop it down, all the stuff he will open and so on. So the mother never knew that he has some mental issue. So we need to observe our kids and ensure that we know and we are sure that mentally they are in order, that there is no form of any mental disorder in them. Because some behavior, some actions that we see in them and we think is normal, and the father has none of such traits, the mother has none of such traits, such a child will need professional attention so that they can be able to ensure that he or she does not have any mental disorder in any form, in any way. So teenagers may have self-esteem or confidence issues. The feeling of inferiority or superiority may often arise from their appearance and acceptance of their body, their skin color, their beauty, or their figure. All this tends to affect them psychologically. Now, for instance, if you see, a colored child in the midst of a white non-colored child, it becomes somehow for the child to grow with low self-esteem. Because even in the midst of those who are non-colored, they may tend to abuse the child. They may tend to do so many things that the child will feel, have a low self-esteem. And before you know what's happening, such a child can grow with low self-esteem, and that begin to affect the psychology of such a child, and which may on the long run affect him mentally.
I hear you, sir.
So every parent need to look out for that and ensure that the child or their children are in order psychologically. There is no issue of any kind with them. So performance in academics or low IQ can also demotivate them as teenagers. Poor performance in the academics and low IQ can also demotivate them. They develop the "I am not too good enough" attitude towards life. And when they have this attitude of "I'm not too good enough" at all time in the course of their growing up, it can be so disastrous to them, because it will affect them psychologically, and they see everything the other way around. They don't get to see things the way it's supposed to be, and this can lead to depression. So depression is one of the common psychological problems associated with adolescents and teenagers. Depression. And when a child is depressed, it's just as a result of mental disorder, because depression does not manifest from the body, it manifests from the psyche. So, and then the stress and the pressure of adolescence can create anxiety related issues, and while mood swing can lead to conduct disorder or oppositional deviant disorder. So we need to be able to look out for them and watch out for them. So eating disorder are also psychosomatic, as they start with adolescents having a poor self-image and the need to change the way they look by any means. Many of them just want to have a change of look. They want to look differently. Now look at the case that we have with a particular notable and well-known musician. He grew up with low self-esteem to the point at which he sees himself as a colored child in the midst of non-colored child, and that affected him psychologically.
I hear you, sir.
And then by the time he now get to the point of full achievement according to his own belief or mentality, the next thing he wants to do is to make himself look like those that he has always seen, and he want to feel belong, that he's not a colored child, that he's also a non-colored child. And you know what happened? That was the beginning of the destruction of such a person.
Yes, sir.
And at the end of the day, it was that surgery to turn himself to become a non-colored that end his life. Because the whole thing becomes complicated and it becomes an issue. Now the question there is this: many children also are growing up like that. So we parents have to come to the point of being able to sit them down and tutor them on why they should allow themselves not to be psychologically disturbed by what they see.
I hear you, sir.
So now let's look at solution. Why moodiness and temper tantrums are normal in teenagers, girls or boys, they may not always be what they seem. Identifying symptoms of psychological problems in adolescents is not easy and needs the eye of an expert. So one cannot just keep them to oneself. One might need to bring them to, take them to a professional, or to take them to a doctor that can be able to assess them and do some tests to confirm that they are okay or they are not okay. So most of the time, talking about the problem and maintaining a healthy lifestyle can prevent the onset of depression. So one must engage them, one must discuss with them, one must not leave them to themselves. So it becomes so easy for them to open up at a point in time and say to the father or the mother whatever they are going through, and then it can become so easy to attend to that case on time. On time. Now, sometimes your teenage girl or boy may be unhappy at home and doing fine outside. They'll be so moody in the house, but when they are outside, you see them lively. And once they get back inside, they are moody back. And like, I saw this boy playing outside. How come he's like this inside? I saw this girl playing outside. How come he's like this inside? So sometimes your teenage boys or girl may be unhappy at home and doing fine outside. Talk to the child's teacher and friends to know if they are moody or disoriented at school as well. And if they are, then it's a cause for concern. So that simply means probably it's in the house and in the class that such a child is moody. But as now the child is out to play, he or she become lively. Then one need to be able to find out if it's happening only in the house or the same thing is applying in the class, taking to a psychologist, talking to, maybe anyone that can be of help in one way or the other, so that child can get back to normal life, to be able to behave normally anywhere he or she goes to in the course of the journey of the life of life. So do not brush away their feelings, as they can make things worse. Encourage them to communicate with you. For this, you need to talk to them. And if you think your child will not take it easy or talk to you, take him in the car, and talk to him in the car, where the chances of confrontation are fewer, as you are not face to face. That simply means he's sitting side by side with you. You can take him out on a drive. That way he or she is free to look anywhere and still be talking and be communicating. Unlike when you both have to face yourself one-on-one, and you're like, come on, tell me this, tell me that. They may hide so many things. So, but by the time you take him out on a drive, or you take a stroll together, or you take a walk together, and you sit down at the park, and you are just engaging him, so he or she has the freedom to look around and not look at your face, and still be able to respond. That way you make the environment conducive enough for conversation, and it becomes so easy for he or she to flow out, and whatever is on the inside can come out, and such case can be addressed, and the journey becomes so easy.
Thank you so very much. So, okay, viewers, I hope you're jotting down. I hope you're learning one thing or the other that doctor is trying to tell us. Don't forget the number to reach us on is +2348054281604. WhatsApp only, please. WhatsApp only. Okay, sir. Before you go on, sir, I want to ask this question that is in the area of poor self-esteem. Is it true, sir, that when a child is dull, is it an hereditary thing?
Well, one, there is possibility of it being hereditary, and at the same time there is possibility of it being non-hereditary. Now, when it's hereditary, it's just like probably a particular system or family or bloodline, whereby they are used to outdoor. They are not the indoor type. They're not the sitting type that can study and read and memorize and cram. So when such a child grows in such a system, you all have such a blood flowing in him or her, such a child may not be okay academically. But as soon as you get such a child out there on the road or on the streets or in the marketplace, the child will do well. Brilliantly. So, and it becomes so easy for such a child to do so valiantly in his own or our own area of strength. But and where it becomes non-hereditary is if the child is just being lazy, and then he's not being helped to be lazy because the parents too are careless. The child is being lazy, and the child is not being helped in his laziness because the parents are careless. Now the question there is, when you send a child to school and he goes in the morning to return back in the evening, it's very important for you as a parent to engage the child in what did you do in school today. Even if it's once in a while, even if it's once a week. What did you do in school today? Can I have your note? Can I see your note? What have you done? And then when the child goes to school in the morning, it's very important for you as a parent to know that your child that returns back from school should at least, even if it's for 1 hour every day, look at the note that he or she copied in the school.
I hear you, sir.
So when you as a parent have never caught your child reading before, and you have never made him or her to read right from 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, then will you expect such a child not to be dull?
I hear you.
Because each of the stages of the academic level is building a foundation for the next one. A child that does not learn 2 times 2 in his kindergarten stage, by the time he gets to basic class, it will affect him or her. Because the foundation has not been laid. A child has not learned his 5 times 5 at the nursery 2 level. By the time he gets to GS class, it will affect him, because he or she will have to consult the multiplication table before he can get results, and then it becomes so drawn back, because his mind will be far ahead. They have written so many things, he's still thinking and looking for a table to look at to get 5 by 5. So it's very important for us to know that we must let them grow at their stage and learn all they need to learn at different stages of their life. So that once they build that foundation, the next level will be built on that new foundation they have built. When they get to the next class, the foundation. So there's no child that is meant to be dull if the parent can keep an eye on them to ensure they read their book and they study their notes once they return back from school. So, but if it's not hereditary, it's non-hereditary, and non-hereditary is man-made due to carelessness of the parents or the guardian.
I hear you, sir. Thank you so very much, sir. Okay, viewers, I hope you are still with us. Don't forget the numbers to reach us on is +2348054281604. WhatsApp only. Okay, sir. That takes us to the next.
Yeah, the next, which is number 8, where we're going to stop for tonight, is technological problem. Technological problem. Many of them tend to have problem with technology, and it was not meant to be a bad problem.
I hear you, sir.
But because of their own excessive use of things that is available to them, they tend to turn technology into a problem in their own life. Like for instance, the use of internet. Many of them can get so engrossed with social media to the point at which they may not even have time to do anything for themselves.
I know that thing, yeah.
They may not even have time to develop themselves for whatever is ahead of them. They get so engrossed with social media, flipping through one app or the other, running through one thing or the other. Many of them will even get so engrossed with their phone that you'll be calling them and they will not listen to you. I was opportune to have access to a case one time whereby the parent felt their child need to be communicated with. So they bought the phone that the mom was using. She has to upgrade it, pick up another. So she gave that one in her hand to the 14-year-old. Like, okay, you have this one while I go pick up the other one that I've already had in mind. And then on giving, the phone, the girl, the phone, that becomes the next day problem start in the house.
Beginning of a problem.
Because the mother left some data there with the hope that she will be able to use that to at least communicate with them, WhatsApp, send message at one time or the other. But the girl will just not even check WhatsApp. She's just busy flipping through one thing or the other. The mother sent her a message since around 2 o'clock. She didn't check the message. The mother came around 7. Well, I told you to this. Where is the stuff? He said she didn't know. Now the phone was with her. She has not checked the WhatsApp to check the message, and she's been flipping through the phone.
She's been on the phone.
It was one of the siblings that told the mother that she has been on her phone. She's returned from school.
Oh Lord.
Now that is technological problem. The phone is a good thing for them, but they get so engrossed and so used to it that you cannot even get their attention again. Meanwhile, by the time the mother will like, okay, what were you doing on the phone? This, she has downloaded some game that she was playing, and she has been so engrossed in it that even her siblings, she didn't care to confirm if they had eaten or they had not eaten. Even she, when she came back, where she just flip her bag and flip the clothes and have a change of clothes, is where the clothes are still there. So she was just engrossed with the game she was playing. From that around the 4 they return till 7 when the mother came. So she was so pissed off and like she collected the phone from her and said she will never give her the phone again. Now 2 days after, she need to communicate with them. She realized that she can't call them in the house because she already has collected the phone from the girl. Yes, so she's not like, oh man. So she has to call somebody to go and call somebody to go and relay with them.
Relay with them to at least deliver the message.
That is technological problem.
Oh, Jesus.
Because there are times that we think that they need those things, and truly they need them. But because of their age and their stage in life, they get so engrossed with it. Many of them will be so engrossed with social media that you will wonder if their life depends on it. And many of them will be so engrossed with game that you'll be thinking that somebody will pay them for playing the game. So, and it boils down to the fact that it's not just enough for them not to have data on the phone. They may have downloaded game already. Okay, so that's why it's not appropriate for parents to be able to let your kids get used to playing game right from even the 3, 4, 5. Because I've seen parents whereby from the age of 2, whenever they give their child the phone to play with, the child is peaceful and they feel they can rest. So they derive rest anytime the child has the phone of the mother or the father playing with right from the age of 4. So So and once they see that, the next thing they want to do is to give him the phone. So sometimes they buy the young child 2.5 years of age a small tab, just to be able to be playing game. And that was how the child grew. He went to the best of school. They are paying 6 figures for him to go to school, but he never knew anything.
Amazing.
Because while in school, he's playing with the staff. While at home, he's playing with the staff. He has never, a private teacher will still come to him in the house. So right from 4, it was just game. After the 7, 8 that he's supposed to be doing well in basic class, he could not do anything. So most of the foundation they have laid for him in primary and nursery, he didn't have it then because he's been so engrossed with game. So the parents were called by the school. They now have to advise them to get him what's it called now? A private teacher that understand a child's life. So and they look at it, but you can also take him for counseling. So when they got to the counselor, the question the counselor was asking them lead to the fact that they have destroyed the child's life with the tablet they have bought for him. That simply means the father never cared to has he done his own work? The mother never cared to has he done his own work? Is when they are going to school, the mother will just use his hand to write in the note in the paper and say they have done the homework. So and they thought they are doing the school or doing themselves, or they thought they are enjoying peace because the child is engrossed with the phone or the tablet when he's in the house. But they never knew that they are destroying him. So the boy becomes so addicted to the tablet that even at the age of 4 one time, when the mother pick up that from him, he won't talk to anybody in the house. He won't even eat his food. And when she saw that, she was thinking it's just a normal stuff with the child. The boy got so addicted with the tablet.
Like, seriously?
He woke up in the morning, the first thing he picked by his bedside is tablet. He's going to bed, he will still be having his tablet. Even after my night story and the rest, he still have his tablet in his hand.
Serious?
And the mother like, he won't sleep. Let him play. Give him the tablet. He won't sleep. He will play till he fell asleep. That is how much the parents spoiled the young boy. And at the age of 7, 8, he could not do anything that his age mate could do. And not that he was dull, but because of the addiction to technology. Because, it's something that parents need to see clearly. Because many believe that they need their peace. They want their kids to be away from them. They don't want their tantrum. They don't want their disturbance. And the next thing is to keep them busy with phone or tablet or with one game or the other or one gadget or the other. It could be disastrous.
I hear you, sir.
So I always encourage parents to let their kids know you are going to play this thing for 1 hour or 2 hours.
Okay.
After that, you go for other attacks and assignments.
Okay.
You pick your book, you read for 1 hour.
Okay.
You get the other things you want to do in the house, get done. And once you are done with that, you can return back to go and play. And then by 9, you're on your bed, sleeping time. So once they have their routine like that, it becomes so easy for them to grow into it. Unlike when you just give them tablets or give them phone, and there is no time to stop, no time to begin. They just do that all day without looking at their notes and their material. It could be so disastrous. And when they now grow to become teenagers, you will need to communicate with them. You will need to buy them phone. You will need to be able to have access to them. So there's no way you will not give them phone. So if they have been spoiled with tablet while growing up, then they will turn the phone to the next toy. And they become so addicted to it. Either they are playing game or their data, they will be there on social media, flipping through, watching other people's life, and then they have no life to present inside the place. So these are things that is very, very risky to the teenagers today. There was one time a child was going on the road, and there was a vehicle coming behind, and the vehicle was the child was not. He was engrossed with what he was doing on the phone.
Oh Lord.
Or somebody came from behind and slapped him. I'm like, aren't you hearing the horn? There's like, you cannot imagine the way technology is turning many of them to be today.
I hear you, sir.
So we are praying to be cautious of all these things. It's good for them to have the gadgets. It's good for them to be communicated with whenever they are far away from home. But it's also very important for us to ensure that they are not addicted to it. Because it could be disastrous when they are addicted to it. One might not be able to get them out of it when they are addicted to it. So please, parents, it's good for us to give them those gadgets and those things, but we must ensure that they are not addicted to it. Let that be a time factor. You are playing without your tablet between 5 and 6, 1 hour. And by 6, you are going to do this and that. So once those things are mapped out for them, they will know when to put it down and when to pick it up. So they won't just hold it for the next 6 hours and they are not doing anything than to be doing that and pressing. So please let us get them into this. It's good that we have technology around us today, but the technology should not be the major reason why we should destroy our children. And I pray God will help you with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding on how to raise them well and for them to be a great in life in the name of Jesus Christ.
Okay, sir. Thank you so very much, viewers. I hope you've been able to jot down 1 or 2 things from what Doctor has been saying all the while. especially on this, the last note he mentioned, that is the technological problem. That is the area of children handling phone, you know, spending the bulk of time with phones in their hands. Don't forget the number to reach us on is +2348054 281604. WhatsApp only. Sir, on the last note, sir, I want you to, you know, help throw light, you know, on a rounding note in the area of this phone that you mentioned. How can parents, that is in the teenager now, the older ones now, how can parents really, you know, curb the excessive use, you know, of phones? Because now the world is you know, global. The bulk of what they do now is on the internet. Even for their results, their whatever, they go online. So they can't actually, you as a parent cannot, you know, stop them from going online. You can't stop them from, even if you don't give them in the house, they can go, you know, go to any of their friends and collect the phone and use. Sir, what solution can you like prefer to this?
That is why we talked about, you know, that was, we'll be spending weeks on this. If the parents start the work early, it becomes so easy that at the time that is meant to be tedious, it becomes easy. But if the work was not started early, at the time that one need to start it, they won't still need to start it right and do it right.
I hear you.
Like for instance now, you are giving the child a phone, or a child will have access to phone. You need to make him or her to know the reason for that, and what he or she should do and should not do on it. And making him or her understand the fact that I may not be able to be there to watch you, but you should know that whatever you do that is contrary to what will build you up will surely destroy you. So, and I don't think that you should have this to destroy yourself, but you should have this to build yourself up.
I hear you, sir.
Because having access to information online go a long way. The internet now has become like a world library, whereby you have access to several materials all over the world, as long as somebody somewhere has uploaded it on the online. So, and you cannot cut them from those advantages.
Yes, sir.
They need to be able to have access to those information, but at the same time there are some other information too that if they have access to it, it will destroy them. So what we need to do is to sit them down and let them know.
Okay, sir.
That's why we're talking about parents being able to relate with them as friends.
Okay,
they need to know why they have to do this and why they have to do that.
Okay.
Or else, when you are like imposing everything, when you turn your back, your imposition on them will not work again. Because they will have to do what they want to do. But when you make them understand why they should do what they must do and why they should go on with it, then they, even at your when you are not there, they will do the right thing. In your absence, they will do what is needful. Whatever you have put into them to do becomes so easy for them to continue. So, and that is why parents need to be able to come to the point of being able to be their best friend, being able to relate with them without any compromise, without any standard. Excuse me. Or father, I'm the father, then you must do everything I wanted. I'm the mother, you must do, no. Come to sit them down. Let there be an agreement. This is what you must do, and this is what you are doing, and this is the reason why. If you do this, this is the reason. If you do that, this is the reason. And it becomes so easy for you to turn your back, and your mind is at rest that they have the reason for doing right and the reason for doing wrong. So they will not make a choice. Whatever choice they make, you will not still work with them through that. And like you have made your choice, and this is the consequence of that choice. If it's right, and if this is the benefit, if it's wrong, and this is the benefit if it's right.
I hear you, sir.
So we can't really cut it off completely. They have to have access to information. They need to have access to their assignments. They need to have access to their homework. They need to have access to so many things. Even many of the schools now have portals now where the kids can get their assignment done, and they have their password here and there. So we can't cut them off from all that. The little we can do is to put parental guidance on some of their gadgets to ensure that they can access certain sites or the other. That is technologically allowed. But some of them become so wise to the point at which where you thought you have put parental guardians, they will go back behind you and unlock that, and then they will access anywhere they want to access. And by the time they want to finish from there, they return it back to parental guardians.
Wow.
Because you know the age and the way many of these kids are technological savvy is not like the way many of us were when we were growing up.
Yes, sir.
Many of us, they have to teach us so many things. But you know, like for instance, a parent was saying something to me one time. He said he gave the child his phone, and the child has gone to so many places that he didn't even know the child could have access to. And few minutes or few hours after collecting the phone from the child, the phone is still doing what the child has programmed the phone to do, not what he wants the phone to do.
Oh,
so
no.
it now rose to the fact that we might be thinking they don't know. They know more than us when it comes to this technology.
I hear you, sir.
So when we put the right thing to them, even though if they have a way of going about, what we have said and reset it, they will reset it right, because they know the consequence of what they are supposed to do right, and the benefit of it when it is right, and consequence when it's wrong. So we need to, and that's how we need to also raise them with prayer.
Okay,
always
sir.
commit them into the hands of God.
I hear you,
and
sir.
because they have access to everything. But how do you now make them to have restrictions on some things? Through prayer and through knowledge and through understanding and having a wonderful relationship together with them. It becomes so easy, and they can go far, and when we turn his back and you are still at peace, that they will do right thing at the right time.
Thank you so very much, sir. Thank you so very much, sir. Okay, viewers, I hope you're enjoying yourself, and I hope you've been able to jot down one or two things doctor has been trying to tell the parents out there. And I hope at the same time too that you have been able to pick the area that affects you. Okay, that will be all for now. Sir, once again, thank you so very much, sir. Thank you for honoring our call.
Thanks
thank
for
you
having
so
me.
much,
And we
sir.
pray that all the parents out there, the Lord will give you wisdom, knowledge, understanding to do the right thing at the right time in the name of Jesus Christ.
Amen. Okay, viewers, that will be all for now. Till we'll see you next time, same hour. Stay safe and stay blessed.